Wife Material Podcast. So, can you be a big, beautiful woman and be a wife? The short answer is yes and no. Um, Kidding, but the thing is, you can. The thing is that you gotta make the most of it. One of the problems that I see a lot um, out there, people being very unhealthy, um, people not being big in a good way. Like I have no issue with a female being thick, plus size, BBW, right? Fat, obese, whatever, chubby, whatever you want to call it, as long as it's maintained, as long as you shape it right. Because the main thing is the guys find attractive is specific areas is the breast, the ass, and the thighs, even lips, And there's some guys that like chubby tummies and stuff like that. To each their own, right? To each their own interest, right? Preference. But you literally have females that are pretty in the face, but they let their bodies morph and shape oddly to the point where it's like, damn, you could be considered hot, thick, fuckable, whatever, right? You could be desirable, but you don't make what your size desirable. Instead, you got all this feminist bullshit out there saying that, no, I'm beautiful, I'm perfect, you love me as I am. It's like, no, because if that was true, you would be loved as you are. If that was true. Guys, what they like varies. And not only what we like, what we tolerate varies as well. Which is why I'm saying you can be big, and we can be okay with you being big as long as it looks good. The problem is most females don't make it look good. I've seen plenty of plus size females. I like plenty of plus size females because they make it look good. Just recently, a plus size cosplayer, she lost a lot of weight. Yeah, I'm not too happy about it because I initially liked her when she was big, because that was the thing. She looked good, big. That's what she was known for. So the fact that she drastically thinned down, I have less interest in her. So that right there is an example of like, yeah, big is not a problem. It's just big and sloppy is a problem. Just like you wouldn't like a guy who's like really, really big, who look like, I use Fat Albert because you can imagine that. Not Fat Albert. What's his name? Fat Bastard. That's what he's called. From Austin Powers. If you've seen the movie Austin Powers, you know about the character Fat Bastard. So a guy that looks like that, you wouldn't find him attractive. But if he was able to shape that size, that bulk to look like the Hulk, right? Still be soft and squishy, but look like the Hulk. Especially when he's wearing clothes, he'll look like a Hulk in a suit. Then, y'all could work with that, right? He's still fuckable. But it's when the fat is out of control, it's in places and areas that don't look that appealing. When the guy looks like a giant pear, females are not turned on by the shape of a pear. Now guys, can get turned on by a female who's pear-shaped, but that's the difference, right? Most females are not turned on by a guy who's pear-shaped, right? On average, most guys, yes, do like the hourglass figure, but pear-shaped is also desirable. And of course, there's some other variant shapes that guys like. I think lollipop is a term. Lollipop shape where you're petite and big breasts. I'm a fan of that. But then I do like hourglass I've seen some pear-shaped chicks that I like, where they're smaller on the top, thick on the bottom because their thighs and whatnot. Just like that plus size cosplayer I was talking about. Her body type was more pear-shaped. So if it looks good, then it is good, right? And teach their own. Not everyone's going to be a fan of it, but however, though, mathematically, you have a higher percentage, a higher chance of guys liking it. There's going to be tons of guys. They're going to like it, and that drastically increases your chance of being wifey, right? Being wife material for some guy, because some guy might like that, right? More cushion for the pushing, as they say. So you can be big and get a man and be a wife, but you gotta make it work. You gotta work it, and some ladies don't work it, because when y'all have big breasts, y'all make that work, and that's a lot of fat right there. But y'all make it work. Y'all put on bras and make it look cute and stuff like that. But the problem is y'all don't make y'all plus size look good. A lot of times y'all just wear like baggy clothes and just let the fat all hang out unattractively. If you shaped it up and made it look nice, then it's workable. You know what I mean? But the thing is that we have ways to fix these things. Like, like I said, shrink what you can shrink. Shrink your stomach, shrink your arms, shrink your legs, right? That way most of the fat will be concentrated on your ass and thighs and your breasts, right? These are the areas you prefer to be big. Every other place you can thin out. You can do arm exercise and thin out your arms. You can do leg day, right? Make your ass, fatter, tighter, while thinning out your legs, and you'll look better. The thing is most females don't want to put in any effort, and that's a little unfortunate, because it's like the guy you want, the perfect guy for you, is out there. The thing is that you're not willing to do what is necessary to get them. You're not willing to put in that because that's not even a lot of effort. I've lost over 20 pounds and kept it off for a couple years now. So, really easily. And that's the thing, is because I changed my eating habits. And just that alone drastically changed my my body, right? I'm smaller than I used to be. And the thing is that I'm not getting bigger. That's the main thing. I'm not getting bigger. Now, of course, if I exercise more, I'll get, I'll thin out more. I tend to like lifting heavy weights, so I'm putting on some muscles, which is replacing the fat. But the thing is it doesn't take a lot to get the most out of it, to get the most. Plus, the thing is that I was trying to say was like, not only make the your plus size look good, but also maintain it. Don't let yourself get bigger to the point where it doesn't look good. If you like the way your body looks and it looks nice, in the clothes you wear, you body confident, body positive, all that good stuff, then that's fine. But control it. Have control of it. Maintain it. Think about it. You don't think supermodels have to maintain their looks, their appearance? You don't think females who exercise, do fitness, who have muscles, they don't have to maintain it? They have to maintain it. Just like guys going to the gym, lifting weights, getting six-pack abs, they got to maintain that. If they don't maintain a six-pack abs, they're going to lose it, right? So it's just logic. It's like, choose a body type you want to have that's realistic for you. If you're like, oh, I can't be skinny, fine. Get as small as you can and maintain it. That's it. Lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds. That's not a lot. That's not a lot to ask for. You can do that in a year or two. No one says it has to be in a week. But try. And the funny thing is, literally, it's just what you're eating that's the main problem. It ain't anything else, right? We could say, oh, well, you don't exercise. Yeah, but logically, when you move, when you wake up and walk and do things and go to work and this, that, and the third, that is exercise. So that's already enough exercise for you to lose weight. You just need to stop filling the gas tank, as it were, right? Your stomach full of food, right? So try to eat less food. Try to reduce the calories, which is most important. That's the fuel. You gotta reduce the calories. That's called calorie deficit. So, maintain. That's always I'm saying is try to cut back on what you're eating, so that way you can at least stay looking the way you like looking. Because we know that if you gain like 5-10 pounds, you're gonna be unhappy. So don't gain that weight. Maintain control. The point is you have control of your body, right? And females, especially feminists, are all about choices. So choose to control your weight. Don't let your weight control you. Don't let your weight determine if you have a husband or not. You control that. All right. All I'm saying is that you can get wifed up, but you gotta make it work. You gotta find a body type that will increase your chances of getting wifed up. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to be skinny, right? But it's a good idea not to be so big that when the guy sees you, is like, yep, you're bigger than me. That doesn't turn me on. You know what I mean? Females tend to like guys who are bigger and taller, which means females typically are shorter and smaller. So why would you be getting big for? You want a guy who's taller and bigger than you, and you're not making it easy for a guy who's taller and bigger than you to be with you when you're literally constantly getting bigger than them. Guys are out here, you see it on the internet, hitting the gym, working out. Guys are out here trying to make themselves physically better for you ladies, but y'all ignorant and lazy and be like, oh, he has to accept me as is. No. That's why y'all not being accepted as is. Y'all need to do better. That's why there's a lot of females out there that are doing better, and they're the ones that are winning. They're the ones that getting wifed up, and they're the ones that are definitely going to get wifed up because they go to the gym. Most of these females want a guy who also goes to the gym. Perfect. You got a whole bunch of guys going to the gym, a whole bunch of females going to the gym. They're definitely going to be getting together, and they're definitely going to be making babies, and they're definitely going to live happily ever after, like it has been happening for thousands and thousands of human years. All I'm saying is, if you want the same results of the happy women of the past, who are happily married, living, fairy tale princess lifestyle, you need to do what they did. They weren't lazy. They weren't stuffing their face with cakes and shit. They were eating healthy. They were eating fruits and vegetables. They were drinking a lot of water. They were exercising. They were being active. And that's the thing. You're not going to find your husband at home. You're not going to find your husband ordering Uber Eats. You're going to find the only way you're going to find your husband is to go out there, whether it's healthy food, preferably, like Olive Garden or something, or some place where they have salads and shit. Go to Subway and go to Wawa and get some wraps or wherever place you go to get some healthy food, some Caesar salads, and find a guy who also is eating that stuff and hit it off and see what happens, right? You got to put yourself out there, but you got to be something worth putting out, right? You got to be worth something to look at. And you got to also remember is that you're also competing with the attention of other females. Regardless if you're trying to compete or not, you still are. Because when guys are out there, especially a hot guy, a rich guy, right, is out there looking around. He's looking around at all the females that's around. And if he sees you, but sees a whole bunch of other females that are in better shape, it would be stupid for him to choose you over them. Because remember, guys are logical. So guys are going to pick what's better. what's perceived as better, what's considered better, what he likes, and he's. But the thing is that you still have a chance. Is what I'm trying to say. You still have a chance, but your chance is slim. You have a very small chance of him picking over the thinner chicks, the hotter chicks, right? If you can present yourself in a way that he's like, you know what, she is bigger than they are, but she looks damn good that way. That's the thing. I've seen some females that I'm like, yeah, I couldn't imagine you skinny. Like, you'll look weird skinny. You know, some skinny is not for everybody. Big is not for everybody. That's the point I'm trying to make. Find a size that works best for you. You know, I see myself a lot of times in reflections, and I see that, like, yeah, I'm a big guy. I do look better big, but right, emphasis, right, but pun intended. But certain parts, especially my stomach area, doesn't look that appealing. It makes me not look good. So I've been working on my stomach to slim it down, so that way I look more muscular. I look like a big giant bodybuilder type guy in my clothes. So that's the thing. What makes me look fat the most is my stomach area. So that's how I'm working on that, to slim it down, so that way I look buff. That would be the term for it, buff, as opposed to muscular. I look buff. So at least I look like, you know, I'm big and strong, while I'm not. I'm big and I am strong, but I mean, the perception will be like, oh, he's a big strong guy, yeah, as opposed to, oh, he's a big fat guy, right? I rather look strong, big and strong, than to look big and fat, right? So I'm working on it, and that doesn't require that much effort. Now, of course, I'm gonna build muscles and stuff like that, and get in way better shape, but for the time being, until I get to that point, you know, get all nice and muscular, I should at least work on shaping myself to look buff, at least, so that way at least I look like I have a body type that can be muscular. That's what I'm trying to say. Just like if you're a plus size chick, at least try to maintain an hourglass figure. Try to have curves, not lumps of fat on top of fat on top of fat, or fat rolls, as they say. You don't want to look like Jabba the Hutt. You don't want to look like a fat bastard, right? You want to look your best. The idea is to at least look your best, be your best. Look your best personality. Look your best physically, right? By dressing in a way that makes you look your best. Your personality is will take some effort. It's harder to change who you are personality-wise than it is to change yourself physically, which is why I'm focusing on the physical aspect, because at least your personality, with some time and effort, could be improved upon. But that's easier said than done, as they say, right? You have to want to change your personality, your mentality. But the first thing you definitely can change is what you put in your mouth. Pun intended. So put healthier things. You can like right in front of me, I got this thing of banana chips. It's bananas in chip form. It's delicious, and I can snack on it here, once in a while. As a snack, whenever I feel hunger, grab me a cup of water, big cup of water, right? Grab me some banana chips and just eat that. That helps me suppress, wanting to eat a big meal. And that's the thing. I try to eat one meal a day, and I snack. One meal a day, and I snack periodically. Whenever I feel a little hungry, I'll snack. And that's what the potato chips, the banana chips are for. Instead of eating potato chips, I'm eating banana chips. So I'm eating air-dried bananas or something like that. Anyway, thing is, find some stuff you can snack on, like baby carrots, baby tomatoes, broccoli, celery, cucumbers. If you like eggplants, most of y'all probably do, if you know what I mean. Whatever zucchinis, whatever that is fruits and vegetable related, that you can snack on. Eat apples, eat slices of apple. You can slice up an apple, put a little bit of peanut butter on the apple, and eat that, and it's delicious. And there you go. That's a nice healthy snack. The idea is just to reduce large meal intakes and calories. That's the main thing. You're trying to reduce how much calories you're putting into your body, so that way your body will naturally use the fat that you have and start burning the calories from there. So that's the main thing you want to do is burn off the calories. My main thing I'm trying to get through to you ladies is just the idea of just maintaining. I'm not telling you have to lose weight. I'm saying is at least don't gain weight. You know what I mean? That's something you can control. If you change the way you eat, you at least are not gaining weight. And then if you love the way you look, you love your curves, you're beautiful, big beautiful woman, then that's great. That's fine. To each their own. I'm not telling you that you have to, get smaller. But what I am saying, try not to get bigger. Because there's a lot of guys that probably already used to you at a certain size, and they already like you that way. So if you got bigger, that would change their mind on that. And you don't want them to change their mind. You want them to still like you, right? So that's something you can control. Especially, I have to say it, ladies, but especially if your personality is not the best. You would think plus size women have great personalities. They're extra nice, extra friendly, extra feminine, because they're extra, soft, right? But they tend to be, I'll say, bitches. And that's why they like to go around talking about they bad bitches. And it's like, but no one wants somebody who's bad. Mostly our females complain about men are toxic. But then y'all around here being toxic yourself. History lesson. There was a time, and I missed the good old days of the old-fashioned women, where they were the moral compass. They were always good. Were they perfect? Of course not. No one is. But the women of the past were definitely better than the females of today. The modern women today cannot compare to the women of the past, because they knew that being nice and not being a bad bitch or just being a bitch, they knew that they can get more out of life being nice, being feminine, being respectable, right? Being soft, even not just soft physically, by being, squishy in all the right places, but even being soft in your voice, using your soft voice, soft touch, your mannerism, even your clothing, being modest, hiding the goods, where everybody knows, oh, we know under those clothes there's some goodies on there, but you're keeping it hidden. It makes it more precious that way. But instead you got females out here just letting everything all hang out, and it's like, not as precious as it used to be, not as enticing, not as forbidden as it used to be. That's the thing. Females back in the day, women of the past, understood the forbiddenness, right? The less you showed, the more guys wanted you. You were more desirable when you showed less, not when you showed more. All right? Showing more was only useful, and this is in the past, was only useful with prostitutes, because it was a way of advertising the goods, right? It's like, I'm an object. Here's my tits and ass. Pay me for it if you want to use them. That's the whole point of them wearing less, because they were advertising what they were offering for a price. But if you ladies want to be respected, taken serious, treasured, treated with respect like the women of the past, women of the past were treated way better, was given way more respect. A random guy who's not even your boyfriend or husband would open the door for you and let you go through. Ladies first, right? Guys will be gentlemen, and that's a society thing. Guys in general would just be nice to females because they deserved it, because they behaved in a way that garner respect. The chicks out here talking about, "I'm a bad bitch, respect me, blah blah blah. I don't need no man, blah blah blah. All this, I'm independent, all this nonsense." Now you're out here being told by guys, okay, then you're paying half of the bill, or you're paying for the whole date, or you're paying for my Uber, or this. Like, you're hearing all these guys, telling you that you gotta do stuff now, instead of offering you stuff like the way it used to be for women in the past, where, like, hey, you want me to carry that for you? Hey, you want me to open this door for you? Hey, I'll open, pull out a seat for you. Hey, you want me to get you, a drink? Want me to buy you a drink? This, that. Like, guys offer stuff. A lot of times it wasn't because they wanted to get something. It's because it was a show of respect. You respected her, which is why you offered her stuff. That's why you asked to buy a drink. That's why you didn't just buy her a drink like, here, I got you a drink. Going to sleep with me? You know what I mean? That's how it is now. But in the past, it's like, can I buy you a drink? Would you like me to buy you a drink? You would offer, because it was a show of, it was a kind gesture, right? It's meant to be a gesture of respect. Just like a female referring to a guy with respect. Like, how you doing, sir? And y'all will refer to each other as sir and ma'am, showing a level of maturity and respect. But instead, now y'all out here talking about bro this, dude that, ill, you ugly, and then y'all trying to roast each other like y'all fucking high schoolers and shit, talking shit about how each other looks. It's like, what? Damn, no respect. And the list goes on and on. Let me try to get off the history lesson. The point is that, yes, as a big girl, you can be a big, beautiful wife. But you gotta put in the work. Here's the thing: not a lot of guys that you want probably aren't into big girls. They could be into big girls, like I said, if you shape it right, if you make it look nice and tempting. Guys who typically don't like big girls would. Now, I prefer thinner women, but I've seen different shapes and sizes of women that I like. So I have what I'm trying to say. I have a range. So from petite to thick, or extra thick. I say extra thick for the extra plus size females. Because if it looks good, it looks good. That's the thing for me. It's like, if it looks good, then I like it. Some females do look better bigger, and some females just look better smaller. And the thing is that you need to find out what works best for you. The main thing, one of the things I really wanted to point out was your face. Your body, it's easy to fix your body than it is to fix your face. If your face looks like Freddy Krueger's face, Jabba the Hutt's face, it's like no amount of makeup is gonna fix that, unfortunately. And a lot of females definitely try. And I've seen some females who put on a lot of makeup, and it actually just makes it worse. But the thing is that if you have a pretty face, you can get away with being a big girl. But if your face is not that pretty, being a big girl does have its disadvantage. Even if you do shape it nicely, the most you'll be is fuckable. But marriageable will be a little bit debatable, because one of the things you got to understand is your facial DNA, right? The way your face looks, like your facial features, that tends to translate over to the children. So if a guy sees your face and you have a pretty face, he's going to be interested. Which is part of why we guys dislike when females wear a lot of makeup. Let me rephrase that. When every female is pretty much wearing the same makeup, right? Looking the same, and it's like, okay, how am I supposed to tell who has the best natural genetics? Because if we have kids, I want them to have your good genetics. But if you're actually, I'm gonna say, if you're ugly but you put on makeup and the makeup made you look pretty, right? Made you look nice, then the thing is, your makeup doesn't transfer over to the kids genetically. So the likelihood of us making beautiful babies is very slim. You don't think that's unfair? You don't think that's wrong to do? I mean, especially if I'm not that good looking of a guy, or my DNA might not be enough to make sure we have beautiful babies. You know, it will only make sense that you make sure that at least you have some good genetics, so that way we can balance it out. My genetics, your genetics combined should make relatively good babies, but we got to be a little bit equal on the looks apartment, right? At least face wise, our bodies varies and it's a little irrelevant because our bodies are more for each other than anything else. But genetically, our kids will inherit certain features from us, right? Because in my family, half of my family members are, you know, genetically we get big, but the other half don't get big, right? The other half is skinny. Sometimes people say that they have the better genes, but I disagree. I disagree, you know, because scientifically, we're supposed to be able to gain weight. So if you can't gain weight, that's actually that's a genetic defect, not a plus, right? It's not a gift. So, but anyway, that's for some other topic. But the thing is that you know, clearly the genetics from the father and mother, you know, translates differently to the kids. So that's why there's different variations of sizes in the family. Ironically, us big children tend to hang out more than the thinner children. So that's a little bit of an irony there, that the bigger children relate to each other more than the thinner children. I mean, we all get along, we love each other, obviously family, but I'm just saying, you know, relatability, the bigger children relate to each other than the thinner children. But love nonetheless. There's love in the family nonetheless. One of the benefits us bigger children have is that we can get stronger faster, and we have been in better shape before. We have been skinnier. I used to be skinny, so my other siblings who are also big, and they're females, so there's that. Yeah, I'm actually the only big out of all the males. I'm the only one that's big, and all the females, which is two of them, they're big. Partly because of pregnancy, obviously, is one factor. So there's that. But all the other boys, which are three of them, they are thinner. Two of them have gained some weight, you know, beer bellies and stuff like that, because they obviously been drinking and eating unhealthy. But that's something they could fix, obviously. But there's that. The thing is that, you know, I'm very popular among the ladies, and I know, I mean, I could tell obviously why. Mostly because I'm 5'11", so I'm almost 6 feet. So that, you know, females do tend to look up to me, like literally, because I'm tall. I'm big, so I'm big and tall. So that's two pluses for me. I'm big and tall. I have a relatively attractive face. You know, I do have good genetics. I'm just fat and getting old, right? But getting old actually has its benefit. I get a lot more attention now than I used to, so there's that. So I'm definitely in my prime now, getting a lot of female attention. Way too many. But that's cool. I'd rather have too much female attention than too little female attention, right? Because I'm at that point in my life where it's like financially, socially, I'm doing really good. So it makes sense that females start coming in my direction. So I might be, I'm working, I'm build. Well, I have a harem that I have slowly putting together. So there's that. Anyway, there might be a new member that I'm in the talks with. But anyway, in the near future, wife, that'd be a thing. So that'd be kind of cool. Especially be cool to have a wife and then have her come on to the podcast, right? So that'd be cool in the near future. For now, just letting you know that you do have options, right? Exercise, eating healthier, has its perks. One, just to be healthy, even if you don't lose weight or whatever, from eating healthy, from changing your eating habits, at least you'll be healthier, right? You'll have less health issues. You'll go to the hospital less, which is very important. You'll get sick less, which is always good to just be healthy. And that's the thing. It's like you definitely need to make sure you're healthy. Do your best to look your best, and definitely be your best. Improve your personality. If you curse, fix that. If you catch an attitude, fix that. If you get angry or jealous too easy, fix that. And the list goes on. If you got past trauma, fix that. Because remember, it's the past. The shit in your past doesn't matter anymore. Now, of course, guys do care about body counts, but that's for a different topic. The thing is that your past traumas, the people who did you wrong in the past, it's in the past. They're not the ones you're trying to attract now. They're not the ones you're trying to be in a relationship with now. So you shouldn't dwell on the past. You should focus on the future. What you should be looking forward to is your future husband, right? Your future boyfriend, right? Somebody to love and spend the rest of your life with. Somebody who isn't trauma or drama, right? So try to let your past traumas go, because they are that your past and holding on to your past is what's ruining your future. It's hurting your present, right? Your present mind state of mind, and it's definitely going to ruin your future, because your future is coming. Your future husband is on his way, and if you're not ready for him, then you're going to miss out your opportunity, right? You only get one shot to make a first impression. Sometimes people forget that. You only get one chance to make a good first impression. If you make a bad impression, it'd be really hard to get a second chance on, showing somebody you're a good, decent person. So this is why it's important that ladies, y'all work on your body and shape it, nicely, so that way, the perfect guy for you would notice you among all the other females that he sees. Because think about it, he doesn't know you yet. He doesn't know your personality. He doesn't know you're the one until he gets to know you, right? So until he gets to know you and be like, oh shit, you're the one. You're the perfect girl for me. You need to get his attention. He needs to notice you. And you want him to notice you in a positive way. So your body, the way you look, the way you act, is the first impression. And you want it to be good. Even if later on you end up being an asshole, you end up being annoying and nagging all the time, he'll probably tolerate it, because your first impression, his first impression of you, is what he remembers you, and he will always remember you as that. So if he sees you for the first time and it's like, damn, she's a fat ass, I don't like that. Well, that's the first impression, and that's the lasting impression. And that's not the impression you want. You want a better impression. And we're not going to be like, oh, it's his fault. He should love me for who I am. He shouldn't be judging me, blah, blah, blah. Y'all ladies judge all day, every day. Y'all talk about the whole, like, no judging, but y'all judge on a daily basis. Y'all feelings always triggers and based off of judgment. You see a guy and he makes you feel unsafe, uncomfortable. He makes you feel bad, you immediately treat him like he's a bad person. You automatically judge him as bad because of your feelings. Not because he's a bad person, it's because of your feelings. So y'all ladies are always judging guys. You're always judging guys instinctively. You might think you're not judging a guy, consciously or on purpose, but you are doing it subconsciously and you're doing it instinctively. It's a reflex. You see a guy that doesn't look good, you'll treat him as bad, and vice versa. You see a guy who looks good, you'll treat him good, and then find out that he's an asshole, he's a fuckboy, he's a habitual liar, he's a cheater, he's a thief, and so forth and so forth. He's toxic. But he was good looking, so you automatically labeled him as good. That's the problem. You see a guy who looks bad, you label him as bad. You see a guy who looks good, you label him as good, and then think you made the best decision. Like, I'm going to be with the good guy over here. That's not the good guy, that's the bad guy. He just looks good, but he ain't good. You got tricked. You got fooled. He was a wolf in sheep's clothing, and you fell for it. You thought he was a nice fluffy sheep, and it turns out he was a bad wolf. So y'all ladies gotta learn to choose better. That's why we keep saying, choose better, pick better men. First off, pick men, stop picking boys. We keep picking fuckboys left and right. We keep picking immature man-childs and shit. Dudes who haven't grown up yet mentally, and y'all keep picking them. But then, well, he's a man. No. His body might have been manly, but his mind wasn't. His personality is not that of a man, so don't say he's a man. Stop messing with these fuckboys and saying they are men. They're not men, they're fuckboys. That's why we have that word, fuckboy. We don't say fuck men, we say fuckboy, because he's not a man. There's no such thing as a fuck man. There's only such thing as fuckboy, because he's not a man. So that's why we call them fuckboys, because they're not a man. So get that, learn that distinction. There's a difference between a man and a man-child, a man and a boy, a man and a male, an immature male, not a man yet. Like, there's a difference. Trust me, when you'll know when a guy's a real man when you realize, oh shit, this is what a real man is like. I've been in a couple scenarios like that where some females that I was with realized how different I was from the guys they're used to. It's like, well, yeah, the guys you're used to were very immature and this, that, and the third, and they would tell me all these things about the guys, and it's like, yeah, of course, they're immature. They're still little boys at heart. You know, they still do little boy things. They still play games. They still, you know, they still, you know, being hormonal and chasing. I'll say it's chasing pussy, and that's all they're doing, is just chasing tail. So it's like, well, duh, all you was just a booty call, because they're still childish. They're not a man yet, right? They haven't become a man yet. They haven't learned, you know, one, self-control, right, of their emotions, of their urges, right? They care more about quantity over quality. Real men care about quality. So real men are going to choose who they want to have sex with. They're not just going to have sex with just whoever is available. And the problem is most of you ladies pick guys who only want to have sex anyway. That's all they want, sex, and that's it. They don't care about who you are. They don't try to get to know you or anything. So you will learn what a real man is. Because like I said, I have some females that were surprised, and they were like, and they were like, yeah, you're different from every other guy. It's like, yeah, because every other guy was immature and childish. They weren't men, you know. So you finally experience what a man is like, and you'd be surprised. And the irony, most females are not ready for a man. That's the other thing. Even if you do get a man, find a man, date a man, you might not be ready for it. You know? 2 of my exes, you know, we had to go our separate ways because I was too manly for them. they were still immature. They still want to have fun and party and do young people shit. They weren't ready for a mature relationship with responsibilities and caring about each other's you know past and lifestyle and favorite colors and this and that. Like most of the females that I dealt with, all they wanted to do was fuck, right? That was their main thing, is that they wanted to have sex. They wanted to have fun. To them, having sex is fun. Going to parties is fun. Going to the club is fun. Going places to eat. Going, like just having fun, right? Hot girl summer. City girl. Like that's all they wanted to do. They didn't want to, create memories, hang out with family, have holidays, have Thanksgiving dinner. Like they didn't want to do, the mature adult things. They want to have all the childish fun. And it's like, all right, well, you want to be childish and have fun, then go be childish and have fun. But I'm looking for something serious. I'm looking for a mature woman. And in this day and age, there's less and less real women. So that's an unfortunate thing. That's why I'm with this harem, as opposed to just finding one woman. It's like now I need multiple females to make up for the lack of women in society, because it's hard to find a single female that has all the proper qualities to be a woman. Now I gotta find different females with different qualities that add up to a woman of the past. 'Cause I'm a traditional guy. I'm old school, so I'm used to certain things being a certain way. I'm used to, being a protector, provider, that kind of stuff that a lot of people like to say online. Just men shit, just being a man. I'm used to being a man and used to, the idea of a woman. And I remember the women of the past. A lot of them are very, very old now. Too old for my taste, and too old, to even have kids and whatnot. So they're not options. Even though I even made this joke online about the idea of like, man, I wish I could find the fountain of youth and get a lot of these older women and make them young again, because they're real women. They're just old, too old to be wives. I mean, they're cool to hang out with and to talk with, right? To be with, but won't be able to do all of the wife things, right? Like the having kids things is a very important detail. So now I gotta settle for younger females, 20 and up, and hopefully that they are not as feminized by feminism, that they have some potential to, be traditional style wives, or modern day traditional wives, whatever you want to call it, as opposed to just modern day woman, which we know is just toxic femininity, basically. Even though I don't believe that's a thing, it's just, feminism has made the idea of being a woman a bad thing and made being a man a bad thing. So that's an unfortunate thing with feminism. But anyway, do what you can to make your bodies look as good as you possibly can. You don't have to be perfect. That's the whole thing, right? Because one guy's trash is not a man's treasure. That kind of sounded wrong, but you get my point. Is what one guy doesn't like, another guy will love. That's what I wanted to say. So your size is perfect for someone, and all you need is just one. Remember, you're trying to get one husband. I mean, if you got it like that, you can get multiple husbands. That's another thing. But the thing is, you just need one husband. Just like we guys only need one woman. But this day and age is a little tough. But if you ladies put in the effort to, become wife material, then yes, one will be enough. You'll be more than enough. But like I said, work on making the most of what you got. Is what I'm trying to say. Make the most of it. Work on it. Not a lot of work, just something. Just put in some efforts, and it will go a long way. You'd be surprised that the little things you do, the little changes you make, like in how you eat, the fact that you're less, you go out more, you're more active instead of staying in the house all the time. The more physical or more active. Let's say you don't leave the house, the more active you are in the house, like cleaning, doing some yoga, some exercise bike or something, or some basic jumping jacks or something, or you watch some YouTube videos, or you get a Peloton, whatever. Whatever you do to try to be a little bit more active, a little bit more mobile. Sex does burn fat. Just keep that in mind, ladies. So there's tons of information on the internet for you to find. You're not gonna get everything from me, right? All the information you need from me. There's tons of information on the internet. Make sure you use your smartphone to get smarter. That's very important. That's why it exists. The smartphone exists so we get smarter, not for it to get smarter and for us to get dumber, right? Remember that. That's the end of the podcast.